So Russell and his wife Kathy have created this amazing world here. It's this little perfect folly that you would not imagine existed if you were just passing on Bustle Highway. There's touches of Alice in Wonderland, a bit of Jim Henson's Labyrinth. There's all these fantastic little sculptures and creatures hiding in the bushes. And beyond the maze, there's plenty to keep the kids busy. There's some mini golf, there's some puzzles, lots to keep the family entertained for a couple of hours if you feel like getting lost. Witchcliffe is only 10 minutes out of Margaret River. While our first stop, Amaze'n, is actually right on the border, most of the spots we visit today are clustered around the main street on Bustle Highway, with the exception of the world-famous Shell Museum, but more on that later. Hi, Mike.
Russell.
Russell, good to meet you.
Yeah, good to meet you too.
So this is your brainchild?
Sort of, and my good wife, Kathy.
Yeah?
We thought about it probably back in 92.
Okay.
And then we sort of got Shire approval in 94 and started planting the maize. And
Oh, so it's been here about 30 years now?
yeah.
So why a maze? What was it that made you want to set up a maze here?
Well, I went to New Zealand. There was one in Monaco, a wooden one. So I was talking to a friend of Kathy's, and he said, "What are you going to do with that place down there?" I said, "I'm going to put a wooden maze in there." He says, "Why don't you put a real one?" And I thought, why not?
It's a bit more lush, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one of mine.
This is one of yours?
Yeah. So we made a bird's nest out of barbed wire, put some eggs in there, and it's got this monster.
Oh, right, the monster coming out of the stump.
Yeah.
And this bird, what's this bird made out of? Is that a fry pan?
Yeah, a couple of
Fry pans? So, I mean, I've noticed a few of your pieces are using this kind of recycled material. Is that that's something that's particularly appealing to you?
Well, you can just use your imagination, really, you know.
Yeah. So, I mean, there are these slightly monstrous creatures and faces scattered all around. It's got this fantastic kind of fantasy world vibe. Is that what you were aiming for with these grounds?
It sort of evolves.
Yeah.
You know, as you're just going along, everything changes.
Yeah.
You know, everything's subject to change. If you step on the zone there, you can get a good panoramic view of where you might be thinking of going.
Right, this isn't cheating then. All right, so I'm going to start over here. I'm going to find my way through to the pagoda, the platform here, and then somehow come out over here. All right, I think that looks possible. I've got a good sense of direction. Have you had to go in and rescue people?
Yeah, every now and again.
Every now and again? I feel it's a very scenic entry to the maze. Is this lulling me into a false sense of security before I get hopelessly lost?
Well, hopefully.
Hopefully. All right. Well, Russell, great to meet you.
Yeah.
I'll hopefully see you again.
Well, I hope you get lost anyway.
All right. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, it's a pleasure.
It's surprisingly dense. I mean, it closes in on you incredibly quickly. There was a sign saying not to climb through any of the bushes, but I'm not sure how you would. I've gone the wrong way already. Let's go this way. So I was warned that if you saw one of Russell's benches, you'd gone the wrong way. It feels a bit early to get lost. Is the fish pointing this way, or am I? I'm going to go with the fish. And there's another bench. Feeling cursed by benches. I did eventually navigate my way out of the maze after an undisclosed period of time. And the other major attraction, of course, are the legendary scones. We've ordered a supply from the kitchen, enough for the entire team, and Jenny's just bringing them out now. Jenny, what is it about these scones that makes them so famous in these parts?
It is one of our award-winning scones.
Award-winning scones?
It has won many awards in the local agricultural show.
Okay.
And it is quite Moorish. You don't need one. You need more than one.
I need more than one.
And it's served with our homemade jam.
Oh, fantastic. So you make the jam here yourselves?
Yes, we made it on site.
Okay. The most important question is, do I put the jam down first or the cream?
Jam and cream.
Jam and cream. That sounds good to me. Let's do it. So this is Witchy Pies. It's a Witchcliffe icon. People come from miles around for these pies. A big draw is it's one of the very few places you can get some gluten-free pies. Hello.
Hello, how are you today?
Good, thank you.
Glad to hear. What can I treat you with?
Well, what do you recommend? There's quite a it's a wide selection of pies here. What are we thinking?
We all have our favourites, and one of mine would have to be the chunky pepper. Beef red wine and mushrooms, also one of our top sellers, but then a little bit of a favouritism to the spinach rolls. So.
Oh, okay. No, it all sounds pretty good. And unless you've got quite a few gluten-free pies,
Yes,
do
we
people
do.
come far for those?
Far, yes, they do. They travel. We had a lady this morning call from Joondalup that wanting
From
to have
Joondalup?
Yes.
Was she going to drive all the way down here for a
Oh
pie?
no, they make their holidays around our location, so they can come and purchase our products while they're down here for their stay.
Oh, great. I guess that's the celiac network, is
Yes, it is.
it? Okay, that's fantastic. I'm going to go with the classic, though. Let's
Yes.
go with the steak and cheese.
Absolutely.
That's great, thank you.
Would you like any try any treats today or coffees to go alongside?
Yeah, let's have something sweet. Oh. Do you know what? I'm going to go with the apple and custard strudel.
Fabulous.
I've been coming to Witchcliffe since the 1980s. Used to come down with the family for our camping holidays. And back then, there was little more than a petrol station and a general store. It's changed a lot in recent years. It's had a real revitalisation towards becoming quite an arty little town with a real accent, as you can see, on the vintage. Now, I'm going to stop in at one of my favourite little shops to have a look in every time I come past. It's not just a little shop, it's the tiny store. Hi, Joe.
Hi, Mike. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Yeah, good. Good to
Great
see
to
you.
see you. One of the things I love about coming in here is I never know what to expect. So, I mean, how do you go about choosing what to put on the shelves?
It's a mix of what really I do love, but also the key to this industry is buy what you really don't love, because invariably there's a customer out there that wants something that's not for your heart, it's for their heart.
That's the joy of op shopping, isn't it? That's walking in and finding something that's especially for you, that no one else is after.
Our social media byline is something for everyone, hopefully.
Okay.
So yeah.
And Witchcliffe has become a bit of a vintage precinct, hasn't it?
It's just gone crazy with the vintage. It's really good. It's a sustainable kind of concept going on all through the town. Yeah, a happy accident in many ways, but yeah, it's a good thing.
So, Joe, obviously I've been in here a few times now. If someone's coming in for the first time, where do they find what? What's the method to the, I don't want to say madness, what's the method to the layout here?
Well, it is my madness, isn't it? It's what's inside my head. There is a little bit of a method to the madness. There's a little bit of a tool section going on here in this part of the shop. The books are mostly ordered into, like classics and novels. I try to kind of keep themes happening. So, very, very antique theme or crockery. The pigeonholes are a part of Witchcliffe history, and they really get styled mostly by colour.
No, I can see that. So you said the shelves are a part of Witchcliffe history?
They certainly are. They used to be in the old tractor shop next door, and a lot of the writing on them is machine parts, and the man that did a lot of that writing still lives in the township.
Does he really?
He did his apprenticeship at the tractor shop. So yeah, they are part of what is our industry as well.
That's great.
Yeah.
All right, do you want to show us around a bit? So we'll.
So this room is full of beautiful eclectic stuff, but we had to create another space to give us room for furniture. So you get to find the mystery room through our courtyard. I'm a horticulturalist, so I grow plants, and they come out here, and then you follow me to what we call the furniture annex.
And why is this the furniture annex?
Well, I kind of filled that room so much that my partner who does restoration, there was no room for the furniture he restored. So this room became that space that the furniture would come into. It's a little overflowed with other things at the moment, but yeah, mostly it's the furniture annex.
It's quite a mix of furniture of different styles and times. And where do you find it and how do you choose it?
So some things come through via deceased estates. Because we've been here a few years now, we get a lot of people come to us. They'll bring one box of things, a car full of things, a truck full of things. Jeff being able to restore them means that we can, reinvent furniture. We do quite a bit of that.
Okay.
And it's almost, look, if it's beautiful and it's got history, we want to rescue it. We want people to love it again, love it more. Yeah. I do love it when we get things that are so very old, you know.
My eye was drawn to
yes,
this. What is this?
This is a deeds box. So you find these things that have got lots of history. They're a bit damaged, but they've, you know, you can turn it into whatever you like.
Yeah.
And that's a beautiful part of the industry as well.
Down the bottom.
It is a secret drawer down the bottom, yes.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Oh, I like that. I'm tempted by that. Now, I'm a sucker for any kind of secondhand store, but if I have one true love, it's vinyl. This place is amazing. It's exactly what you want from a secondhand record store. I mean, there's some stuff here that you would not imagine to be finding anywhere in a small town, particularly somewhere like Witchcliffe. If you're needing a break from the secondhand stores, YARDBYRD does a very nice line in brekkie, brunch, and an early lunch. As you'll see, it very much continues the vintage vibe. There's little collections of mismatched furniture, lots of secondhand knickknacks on the wall, and apparently a very nice line in muffins. The Real Fruit ice cream truck does ice cream with a difference. You can choose from a range of bases depending on your dietary requirements. There's even a gluten-free cone, and they'll fold in some frozen fruit. One of the options are some locally sourced organic strawberries. If it's not here on the main drag, you'll find it nearby, but if it is here, it's worth stopping by to check out. So this is the Flying Wardrobe. It's the original vintage store on the Witchcliffe main drag. The focus isn't so much here on antiques, although you'll find some little treasures from years gone. It's much more on nostalgia, and that means little trinkets and forgotten treasures from your own past, whether it's the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, RoboCop, or some much-loved childhood reading in the form of The Beano and the Dandy. I wasn't sure what to expect when we rocked up to the Witchcliffe Shell Museum, but I had been told that we had to see it. It's just a residential property from the outside, but inside it's more akin to a TARDIS, a colossal collection of shells that stretches on and on. It's the life's work of Tim and his wife Kath, who was kind enough to give me a private tour. And this is all his collection?
Yes, he's obtained it over his life. He started when he was a child.
Right.
He didn't really know what he was doing. He was picking up shells and he was putting them in buckets. He'd come home. His parents would love fishing, and he'd come home and he'd play with them for a little while and forget them.
Okay.
And then she would put them in boxes. Most parents threw them out, but she didn't. She put them in boxes. So by the time he was 4.5, there was a lot in the box. So with her help, they started naming them and dating them. So from 4.5, he started shell collecting.
Right, that's amazing. So his mum helped him sequence them and categorise them?
No, just name, carries, cones, just the basic name, not the scientific name, but just the basic names and the date. And he filled that out as he got older. He then filled it out in the proper scientific names, but he had the dates right.
Oh, fantastic. I'm feeling very bad for secretly throwing out all the shells that my kids have collected over the years. I'm usually just finding them in my own pockets.
Yeah, you do.
So, Kate, this is the dry aquarium here, and these are all real sea creatures?
Yeah, they're all real. And the ones with Peter Ignotti on them, he done those himself, and the others he obtained from other taxidermists and stuff. And, yeah, he wanted aquariums, but I said no, but you could have a dry aquarium. And not realising the work that it involved, so that was that was quite silly on me.
Okay, you said no. You drove him to taxidermy.
Taxidermy, and he did a dry aquarium instead. Yeah.
What's the order here?
Well, these are cowries. You see, the cowries are naturally high gloss. They come out of the ocean like that. There's several varieties of them, but he knows all the scientific names, so he's a brilliant on that.
I'm sure. It's his lifetime's work.
It is his lifetime's work, yeah. He's obtained them by collecting, by diving. He gets extra shells that he's already got. Then he'll sell them off to raise money to buy from others around the world.
Right.
Or he'll swap shells for shells with people around the world.
Okay.
And he's been doing that all his life.
So is there quite an extensive shell community?
Around the world, it's huge.
Right.
You'd be amazed how many people throughout the world collect shells.
It's not something that ever would have occurred to me, but looking at this collection is amazing. They're like little precious jewels.
Yeah. These ones down here, which are quite unusual, they're called carrier shells.
Wow.
And as they grow, they pick up dead things where they live, like it can be stones, it can be pieces of coral.
Little clusters.
They stick it on themselves.
Oh, okay.
It's a secretion, and as they grow, they stick it on themselves. They start off at the top with little baby ones, and as they grow, they put bigger and bigger ones on themselves.
Wow.
So you can sort of age them a little bit. And the queen conch, which is the shell that everyone seems to love.
Is that one that Peter found himself, or is
No, they come from the Bahamas.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. That's why they're so rare.
Yeah, you have to import them in. Yeah. These are called murexes. These are a type of a favourite of mine because they've got lovely spikes and spines on them.
Really intricate.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
I mean, it's a beautiful array of shells. How much work is it to keep it looking beautiful?
Hours and days and nights, to keep it nice.
Yeah.
For the first 17 years, I had to dust them at night. I'd start about 7:30 in the winter months and go through to about 2.
Wow.
And I'd have to take them out, dust them in oil and put them back because I was open next day for the tourists. And,
Wow, that's every night.
No, not every night. Probably if I combined the amount of time it took, it would probably amount up to about 8 months of the year that the dusting was solid.
And to go through now and oil and dust every single shell, how long is that going to take you?
That would take months.
Months?
Yeah, months.
Okay.
Years.
Years.
Yes, to get back there, it would be over 7 years. If I started there, it would be 7 years before I get back there.
Right. So you start here, do your 7-year lap, and come back. It's like those bridges that need to be constantly painted.
Yes, I think I'd rather paint.
Yeah. Do you get lots of envious fellow collectors?
No. The collectors that come from overseas, and we get a lot stay with us, they're just awe-inspired of what he's achieved in his life, which they say is unparalleled.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't imagine
Yeah.
another museum like it. It's absolutely astonishing.
No, I don't think there is actually, not in the Southern Hemisphere, not as a private collection, no.
Well, it's the end of the day and we're here at Dear Darnell's, and it's hard to think of a better example of the revitalisation of Witchcliffe than this building. It used to be the general store, it's now the Witch and Windmill, and Dear Darnell's is part of that. And as you can see, it's got this fantastic recycled and repurposed feel. It's the perfect place to end a day in Witchcliffe, have a quiet meal, and we're going to catch up with the head chef Will and find out what this place is all about. Hi, Myke.
Will, nice to meet you, Mike.
Nice to meet you. It's an amazing place.
Yes, welcome to Dear Darnell's in Witchcliffe.
Thank you. And it's a historic site, of course.
It is, yes, heritage listed.
Heritage listed. I remember when it was still the general store out the front, but it's changed quite a bit since then. I mean, it's an extraordinary space. You can see it really pays tribute to the history of the place. It's got this
rustic, jarrah.
Rustic, slightly steampunk aesthetic.
Yeah, a lot of second-hand materials from a lot of different areas of Western Australia over a long course of time.
Well, I'd love to see more of it. Can you show us around?
Of course.
So we were saying that it's more than Dear Darnell's here, the wider space, but how much of the space are you taking up now? Are you expanding further back?
Dear Darnell's is expanding. We've got a lot of local mouths to feed, and some expansions at the back with a brand new beer garden, and there's definitely going to be able to cater to that.
So it's obviously an important space for the locals. I mean, how much has that shaped your menu offerings?
Since day one, it's really been an open book for all these locals. What they want to see on the menu will get there. As long as we can get it onto the wood fire, it's probably going to go onto the menu.
Okay. The other thing I have to ask about, of course, is your bar options. I mean, is it very much a sort of craft beer vibe or a high quality wine?
We hit a lot of spectrums. We have a lot of the young crew looking for biodynamic, organic wines, but we got some oldies that just want a pint of Cooper's Green. We need to be able to cater to both of those people. Okay. Look, we've talked enough about beer and the menu. I think we're going to have to head inside and check it out.
So that is Witchcliffe, a small town with one foot in the past and an eye on the future. Whichever direction you're travelling in, why not stop by and check it out on your next road trip?